Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go with the MLB game scheduled for Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put those baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. I've got my daily rundown best bet, which is my favorite play in Major League Baseball each day. So check it out at Pick Dawgz Premium. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Wednesday, Major League Baseball. First up, we've got the Marlins and the Nationals. We've got Yuri Perez and Mitchell Parker as the starters. I know Perez really struggled in his last game, wasn't able to get out of the first inning against the New York Mets, giving up 5 earned runs and 2 home runs. But that is a Mets lineup that right now is absolutely crushing right-handed pitching. And I still think that Perez is the better option in this game up against Mitchell Parker, who has consistently struggled in 2025 with an ERA just below 6. It's still above 5 at Nationals Park, where he's been worse on the road, but not much better at home. And the Nationals have lost a lot of his games recently. A lot of those were crooked final scores as well. A lot of run line losses. I'm still going to back the Marlins in this game on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the New York Mets taking on the Detroit Tigers. We've got Clay Holmes and Casey Mize as the projected starters. Now, we just talked about the New York Mets. Their offense has been excellent against right-handed pitching. We saw at the beginning of this series with Juan Soto's grand slam against Charlie Morton. The Mets did a great job against him and the Tigers bullpen. And in the last month, it's number 1 in Major League Baseball in team OPS against right-handed pitching. High isolated power numbers, low strikeout rate to go with it. I think that Casey Mize is in trouble in this game. He's been struggling really right before the All-Star break until now. It's been a rough second half of the season for Casey Mize. He gave up 5 more earned runs his last game against the A's. Now, that was in Sacramento, but I still think here at Comerica he could be in trouble. I think that Clay Holmes could put together a decent outing here. I think we go over the total, though. The Tigers have shown up offensively as well, so I like the over, and I think the Mets end up grabbing the W. Next up, the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. We've got Jack Leiter and Zach Gallen as the starters. I think both of these starting pitching options are good ones, but the difference for me, and we saw it at the beginning of this series, this Diamondbacks bullpen could be the worst in Major League Baseball. I think the Rangers have a big bullpen advantage. So if this is a close game late, I'd side with the Rangers, and that's why I'm going to lean towards the Rangers in the full game money line. You definitely can't deny that Zach Gallen has been a lot sharper his last 5 games, 3 runs or fewer in 5 straight games. He's had 15 strikeouts his last 12 innings of work. But Jack Leiter on the other side has been really sharp himself. He's given up 3 runs or fewer in 5 straight outings with 17 strikeouts his last 13 innings. Both Rangers victories, 10-0 and 5-2 in his last 2 games. So I'm going to roll with the Rangers. I think they get the job done on the money line. Next up, the Baltimore Orioles and the San Diego Padres. We've got Cade Povich and Nestor Cortez, pair of lefties on the mound for this one. Now, these two lineups, similar numbers against left-handed pitching in the last month, but this is a similar game to the Rangers-Diamondbacks. If this is a close game late, I trust this Padres bullpen a lot more. The Orioles, even when Povich has pitched well, they've not done well in its starts recently. They've lost his last 5 games. I'm going to lean with the Padres in this game on the money line at home. Next up, we've got the Dodgers and the Pirates. We've got Shohei Ohtani and Braxton Ashcraft as the starters. I'm rolling with the Pirates here, plus the 1.5 runs. The Dodgers have not been a good run line team away from home this season. Big time losing record. Shohei Ohtani as a starter. The Dodgers have a losing record in his games. And it's even worse than what it may seem on the win-loss on paper, because usually in those starts, with like we see here, the Dodgers are steep favorites when Shohei is on the mound. And Ashcraft's pitched really well for Pittsburgh as of late. He's given up 1 run or fewer in 4 straight outings. 3 of those were 5+ innings. Good strikeout numbers, good control. He's only given up 1 home run in 52 1/3 innings this season, so does a good job at limiting sharp contact. His control's been excellent. I got to roll with the Pirates here, plus the 1.5 runs at PNC Park, where Pittsburgh's been playing their best baseball this year. Next up, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Cincinnati Reds. We've got Shane Bieber and Zach Littell as the starters. Now, I do think that Bieber is the better option to start this game. I also think that the Blue Jays have the superior bullpen, despite what we saw at the beginning of this series, where Toronto blew a lead. But I think that, Zach Littell, a starting pitcher that does give up a lot of home runs, pitching at Great American, not necessarily the best place. He's given up 30 home runs in 161 innings, and at one point, he had a stretch where he really wasn't giving up too much sharp contact. But now in his last 2 starts, 10 innings combined of 6 earned run, 8 total run, 3 home run baseball. So a lot of sharp contact. The Reds have lost his last 3 games. I think Toronto finds a way to win this game in the end. Give me the Blue Jays on the money line. Next up, the Cleveland Guardians and the Boston Red Sox. We've got Logan Allen for Cleveland, but no official starter right now for the Red Sox. Not my favorite game on the board. We'll see who the Red Sox go with as their starter, but I gotta say, Logan Allen, I give him credit for, settling down after the first inning of his last start against the Mariners, where he gave up 4 quick runs and honestly could have given up more if it wasn't for I think a over 100 mile per hour exit velocity double play that Josh Naylor hit into, but he was able, after giving up those 4 earned runs in the first inning, to go 5 scoreless innings, keep the Guardians competitive, and they ended up winning that game 5-4. There was a comeback victory, but the Red Sox have been a good lineup against lefties overall this season. I still don't love the underlying numbers for Logan Allen overall in 2025. It's not easy pitching as a lefty at Fenway Park. I think a lot of things stack against the Guardians in this one. And then you add to the fact that I still don't love this offense against either a lefty or a righty right now. They've got some of the worst numbers collectively in the last month. So I got to roll the Red Sox in this game on the money line, maybe even the run line at Fenway Park. Next up is Seattle Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays from Steinbrenner Field. We've got George Kirby and Adrian Hauser as the projected starters. Adrian Hauser, not great numbers against his current Mariners lineup in the past. A decent sample size as well, about 80 plate appearances with a very low strikeout rate, 11.9%, high walk rate, and a 392 xWOBA. It's the opposite for George Kirby. In a smaller sample size, fantastic numbers against his current Rays lineup with a 27% K rate and a 330 expected slugging percentage, 162 expected batting average. I think Kirby is the far better starting pitching option this game. The Mariners should be able to hold their own offensively and in the bullpen, so give me Seattle on the money line in this one. Next up, we've got the Atlanta Braves taking on the Chicago Cubs. We've got Bryce Elder and Cade Horton as the projected starters. Bryce Elder doesn't have the best numbers against his current Cubs lineup and a very low strikeout rate to go with that. Cade Horton's been pitching really well in the second half of the season for Chicago. He's also got a sub-2 ERA at Wrigley Field this year. Really impressive stuff. In about 47 innings, he's gotten only 35 strikeouts, but only 4 home runs given up. And like I said, that sub-2 ERA is tough to argue against. I think that Horton pitches well. I think the Cubs can get to Elder, even though he's been pitching better as of late. I think Chicago still matches up well here. So give me the Cubs on the money line and run line in this one. Next up, we've got the Twins and the White Sox. We've got Yoendrys Gomez and Zebby Matthews as the starters. I do think Matthews is the better starting pitching option by a good margin in this game. I know he's got a pretty steep ERA on the season, but it's much better at Target Field. He's also coming off a quality start against a tough lineup in the San Diego Padres, and it makes it back-to-back wins now for the Twins in Zebby Matthews outings. And one of those was a win over the Chicago White Sox as well. Now, Matthews wasn't great in that game, but it goes to show you this White Sox pitching staff is not great. I mentioned on the morning show on Tuesday, Chicago, I think, will improve in 2026, from their right around, looks like 50 to 60 win total in this year. But the thing that's holding them back is still that bullpen and that pitching staff. The lineup is fine, but I think a guy like Gomez is in trouble in this game. I think the Twins can get to him early and often, especially the second time facing him in about 10 days or so. And I think the Twins end up with the victory here. So give me Minnesota on the money line. Next are the Philadelphia Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers. We've got Aaron Nola and Jose Quintana as the starters. I think we see a high-scoring, back-and-forth type of game, similar to what we saw at the beginning of this series. That ended in a Phillies victory. I think this game ends in a Phillies victory, so I lean towards the over and the Phillies on the money line. Now, Jose Quintana, he's actually got decent numbers against his current Phillies lineup, but in his current form, we saw him give up 6 earned runs in his last game against the Diamondbacks. He still has those pretty significant regression concerns with steep expected numbers and not great underlying numbers. Up against the Phillies team that in the last month has done very well against left-handed pitching. I think Quintana is in trouble in this game. And like I said, I don't think Aaron Nola is going to put together a great outing or even a decent outing. I could see him struggling. But at the end of the day, even when he struggled like he has in 2 of his last 3 games, the Phillies have been there to score 11 and 19 runs in those games to win all 3 of his last 3 starts. I think we see something similar, so give me the over and the Phillies on the money line. Next up, the Athletics and the Cardinals. We've got Jeffrey Springs and Matthew Liberatore as the starters. Now, we've talked about the Cardinals' struggles against right-handed pitching, where they've been near the bottom of the league in batting average, team OPS, isolated power, you name it, in the last month against righties. But against lefties, St. Louis has been quite competitive. The problem is they're facing probably the best lineup against left-handed pitching in the last month, and that's the Athletics, up against Matthew Liberatore, who had a pretty good start to his season, but overall recently has given up a lot of home runs. His control's been off, and I just don't love him in his current form. I think the A's really get to Liberatore early and often. I think Jeffrey Springs has been very solid as of late. Nothing crazy from his numbers, not pitching that deep into ball games, but he's been a lot better on the road, and I think the A's back him up. So give me the Athletics on the money line in this one. Next up, we've got the Yankees and the Astros. We've got Will Warren and Jason Alexander as the starters. Now, this is an interesting game here. You look at Jason Alexander. He's been a winning machine for the Astros recently, including a game against these Yankees where he went 6 innings, only 1 base hit, no runs, and a 7-1 Astros blowout win. And you look on the other side, Will Warren has struggled on the road this season. He's got an ERA above 5 on the road, but the Yankees have won his last 2 road starts. And for me, you look at that Yankees game against Jason Alexander, while it looked like a great outing on paper, Alexander, I thought, was really fortunate in a game like that where the Yankees were making a ton of sharp contact in that game. And you look at the numbers now for the current Yankees roster up against Alexander in 31 plate appearances, low strikeout rate, high walk rate, a 705 expected slugging percentage, 308 expected batting average compared to a 115 actual batting average. The Yankees were really unlucky in that game offensively, and we've seen since then their offense has been a lot stronger, and they've been getting results, not just hitting into loud outs. I think Alexander's in trouble in this game. I like the fact that Will Warren did not have to face the Astros in that series, while Alexander just faced the Yankees not too long ago. I think they shell Alexander here. I'm going to go with the Yankees on the money line. Next up, we've got the Giants and the Rockies. We've got Robbie Ray and German Marquez as the starters. Now, Robbie Ray had the best career numbers at Coors Field, and we know the Rockies have been pretty solid against left-handed pitching in the last month, but despite all that, I think German Marquez is still not a great option for Colorado in this game. The Giants have proven to be really improved against right-handed pitching in the last month. I mean, they picked the wrong time to do it. They're a little bit late to the party, but their offense has been competitive, and they're winning some games. Against Marquez, I think San Francisco will have a big day offensively. He gave up 8 earned runs in just 4 1/3 innings. His last start against the Cubs had no strikeouts, 3 walks, and a couple of home runs given up. That was his first start back from an injury. It was his first start in about a month. I think he's in trouble yet again in this game, and I'm going to roll with the Giants on the run line in this one. And that's it. Those are the games for Wednesday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.